Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, and welcome to Tea Time Tuesdays. Here we have grab your tea, grab your journals, and get ready for this engaging time of pause, reset, and building resilience. We're excited to be with you here this afternoon, this beautiful day, and just excited to be here with all of you. As you're coming on, please remember to like and share. And if this is your first time tuning in to Tea Time Tuesdays, welcome to Tea Time. We're excited to have you here for this special tea time. All our tea times are special. So just glad that you are here. Hope you guys have your coffee, have your tea of choice, or whatever you're drinking today, because we're going to share about that this afternoon during our tea time. So again, welcome to Tea Time, and please remember to like and share this broadcast. All right. All right. So we are celebrating the Renewal Center Black History Month. This is the month that we observe Black History. And so we are the Renewal Center. We're celebrating Black History Month. I hope you all are celebrating as well. And this is a great time to embark upon a great history. And happy Valentine's Day to everyone out there. All right. Happy Valentine's Day from the Renewal Center. And the Renewal Center team just want to say, love on yourself today. Remember to love each other and remember to take care of each other. Valentine's Day, as we know, this is the love day, and we should love each other year round. So happy Valentine's Day to everyone out there. All right. So we're going to move right along to our book of the week. And this is What is Love For by Stormy O'Martin. And so I'm going to just give you just a little bit of synopsis. This is in our Renewal Center library. So if you're able to go by and check out this book, this is a great book. I'm just going to read a little bit about it. And it says here the possibility of change, the healing touch of forgiveness, the hope of restoration. These are but a few of the miracles wrought by love and stories of simple, everyday arts of kindness told by beloved author Stormy O'Martin. 1 Corinthians 13, the love chapter comes for life, overflowing with encouragement and inspiration for every woman who deserves to be an expression of God's love to others. All right, this is our book of the week. The name is That's What Love Is For by Stormy O'Martin. All right, that is our book of the week. Moving right along to Renewal Center, our tea of the week, which is lavender tea. Lavender tea. Has anybody had lavender tea before? I love lavender tea. It is very, very calming. If you have had lavender tea, please share with us the tea that if you had it before, or please share with us today. What tea are you having today? Are you having tea? Are you having water? Are you having coffee? This is our usual here. Go ahead and share with our tea time community of what your drink of choice is today. Good afternoon, Nicole. Thanks for tuning in to tea time. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Michelle. Yes, happy Valentine's Day to you as well. All right. Good afternoon, our executive director, Patrick J. Brown. Good afternoon to you. All right. Michelle says, I've had it before. Yes, it is a wonderful, calming type of tea. And I really appreciate the calmness that it brings every time that I enjoy a cup of lavender tea. All right. Thank you so much for sharing, Michelle. All right, so we've had one person chime in with their tea, the tea of their choice today. What is your drink of choice today? You having coffee? Somebody may be having water. I just had tea. I just had regular, just black tea today for my tea. And we just want you to be able to share what you are having. Again, happy Black History Month, everyone. All right. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone out there that's tuning in and will tune in later. Please remember to join us over on YouTube. We are streaming live on YouTube. So you can join us over on YouTube as well. All right. So again, welcome to Tea Time. Glad that you are all here. All right. Nicole says that she has rose tea. Ah, that's okay. You always have very interesting teas, Nicole. Very interesting teas and stuff that's intriguing that we can go and look up. That's what tea time is all about, being the opportunity to be able to share, right? So thank you so much for sharing that. All right. So, all right. Hey, Nita, all right. She says she has raspberry lemonade. Okay, that sounds good. You know what? That sounds refreshing. Thank you so much for sharing that to those fellow lovers of lemonade, such as myself, raspberry lemonade. Thanks for sharing that, Renita. Good afternoon to you. Again, welcome to Tea Time. Glad you all are chiming in this afternoon as we pause, reset, and build resilience. And speaking of pausing, we're just going to go ahead and go into our locate yourself for this is what we do here on Tea Time, where we take a time to just pause, reset, and build resilience. Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Nichelle. And just take a moment to kind of center ourselves on our thoughts and what's going on. So we're going to take a pause. So let's just take a moment to locate ourselves, to just close our eyes for a moment and then just calm and just clear our mind and just kind of just breathe in and out and just allow ourselves to relax and locate ourselves. All right. A few more moments. All right. Isn't that great? We took time to locate ourselves this afternoon. And that was great. I hope you experienced that. And so now we are ready and prepared. Make sure you have your tea time journal as we're going to be sharing some things this afternoon. So I'm going to go ahead without further ado and bring on our director of community programming. That is Carmela Ehead. That's going to come on and lead us in today's Tea Time Tuesday.
Hello.
Hello there, Carmela.
Happy
How are you?
Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day to you as well. You look absolutely beautiful. You have your pink scarf, really nice, and all
Thank
is good. Yeah,
you.
you look
Trying
beautiful.
to do some Valentine colors today for Valentine's. I see
Absolutely.
that you got your authentic gear on.
Yeah, I
Everybody
will
need
have
to
to.
everybody take a look at that.
All right, yeah. Here, yes. Thank you so much. Looking forward to an engaging tea time this afternoon. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you.
Okay, thank you, Hope. Are you staying on with me today or are you behind the scenes?
I'll be behind the scenes today.
Okay. All right. I'll see you on the back end then.
Okay.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tea Time Tuesday today. And as Hope has said, happy Valentine's Day to everyone. And I'm so excited about our Tea Time Tuesday today. We want to ask you go ahead and invite a friend once again and have them join in on the dialogue with us today. This is a topic today that I think everyone will find interesting and everyone can join in along. And so I'm going to be sharing my screen throughout the time today. And I want to ask a question. Let me see if I can add this to the screen so everyone can participate today. So here we are. I want to share a few quotes, and I'm going to leave it up there just for a minute. I see my dad, Dr. Brown, is joining us. Good morning, Dr. Brown. It's good to see you. I want everybody to take a minute and just look at the screen and think about this quote. I know we've seen this quote all over the place. It's been on different plaques. It's been on different cups and all kind of novelty items. Just take a look at that. I'm going to go between slides back and forth. I'd like you to take a look at it and just think about what it's saying to you. Okay, I'm going to go back to the first screen. Live every moment, laugh every day, love beyond words. Of course, I decided to bring this to the forefront today because this is Valentine's Day and there's so many different things that we can take in today. So I'd like to share that with you. Live every moment, laugh every day, love beyond words, enjoy the little things. And so here we are. Pause. Smell the roses. I know you guys are taking a look at in the background. You see the roses back there. And this is just a wonderful day to take the time out. It is so beautiful here in Concord. The sun is shining bright. It feels almost like a spring day. But I want to invite you to do something very easy that anybody can do, and that is to pause. That's what Tea Time Tuesday is all about. It's time to pause and smell the roses. You guys give me some hearts and some thumbs up if you've ever heard that phrase, smell the roses. Take time to smell the roses. I love that quote. And I see Nichelle's coming in. She's going to share something. She says, yes, it's gorgeous here today. Absolutely. Nichelle's over here. She's over here in North Carolina. I'm telling you, it's this beautiful day out today. And so take the time. That's a part of our Tea Time Tuesday, to stop, to pause, to reset, and to build resilience. And what I want to focus on today, as some of you are sitting at your desk at work, some of you may be driving and listening into the broadcast, some of you may be doing your task or doing some things around the house or out and about. And sometimes we, like we always say here at the Renewal Center, sometimes we're on overdrive. And, sometimes we need to gather our thoughts to stop and smell the roses. But I'm going to focus in today on simplistic appreciation. And those two words together, I started thinking about that quote that we just was looking at. I'm going to bring it back up. That quote, enjoy the little things. Sometimes it's not the big things, but it's just the little things. As we take a moment and go through different parts of our lives and go through the recesses of our mind, we can think of some great things that we have encountered, and we can think of some things that we've kind of overlooked. So today we're going to focus in on having a simplistic appreciation for the things that are around us. So I'm going to put this on the screen. That word, appreciation. Take a look at the screen. Appreciation. Okay, so while you are thinking about that word appreciation, what does appreciation mean to you? Now, I have a formal definition of it, but I would like you to tell me in your own words, in layman's terms, what is appreciation and what does it mean? And then when you think about stopping to smell the roses, simplistic appreciation, what does that mean to you? Because that can apply to everyone that's tuning in. That can apply to everyday living. Think about the word appreciation, put it in the chat, and let's have a dialogue today of what appreciation really means. How appropriate. Today is Valentine's Day. So, we're giving things or sharing things because of appreciation, right? That's a good example. Put in the chat, what do you think appreciation means? And if you're just tuning in and you're not actually putting anything in the chat, I want you to kind of roll that around in your mind today as we move on in our Tea Time Tuesday. That word appreciation is going to show across the screen. That word says it's a feeling or expression of admiration, approval, or gratitude. Those of you that know me know that I love talking about gratitude, but I'm going to focus on that simplistic part of appreciation today. Appreciation is an act of estimating the qualities of things and giving them their proper value. Yeah, that's what it means when we stop and smell the roses. Sometimes I want you to think about a time that you've done something. It could have been in the past or maybe something this week. And there's such an appreciation for it, and you just could do that thing, or you could enjoy that thing all day or in the moment. What is that thing that brings you joy that you can just say, I really appreciate that? Nichelle is coming on with a few remarks here. She's saying, appreciation to me means being grateful and thankful. Yes, be grateful and thankful. taking the moment to see what is something within that thing or within that circumstance or that endeavor that really builds you up, that you have a value. And I love that word value. You place a value on things that you appreciate, right? Okay, and so what I want to focus on today is the fact that appreciation really doesn't take much. If you sit in your office, you can take a look around, or if you're at home or wherever you are, or outside, there are things that you can do to pause and to bring newness and to bring refreshing into your life if you take the moment to appreciate or to bring value to the most simple things in life. I think that's so very important because sometimes, I know I say it quite often, we may miss things because we're going by life so quickly. And so a part of Tea Time Tuesday is to actually take time to settle ourselves and to pause, right? And so today, let's do just that. I want to invite you on a journey. So let's take a second and take a look at this slide here. I'm adding this verse, this scripture to the screen. And it says, whatever things are true, and excuse my typo there, whatever things are true, whatever things are noble, whatever things are just, whatever things are pure, whatever things are lovely, whatever things are of good report, if there's any virtue and if there's anything praiseworthy, here's this word, meditate on these things. I'm going to leave that up there just for a minute. And I see Hope is coming with something. Hope is saying to recognize with gratitude. Yes, and that's what appreciation is, recognizing something. And it could be the most simple thing with gratitude. Okay, so let's do this. While we're pondering on this verse today, as you are sitting and watching the broadcast, I want you to put one thing in the chat that you overlooked this morning that was simple. It was just basic, that you could have some form of appreciation for. Put that in the chat and share it with our tea timers, our community today. Name one thing. It could be in your office. It could have been on the way to work today. It could be during your break. Something, or in your family at home this morning before you left work. What is one thing that you can remember right now that is so simple that you could have just been enraptured if you took the moment to appreciate that one thing? Just that one thing. I don't see too much dialogue going in the chat, but you know, when we talk about appreciation, as life goes on and moves forward so quickly, sometimes we're glossing over some of the most simple things that we can do, or the simple things that we can engage, that we can be appreciative for. Patrick, our executive director, is saying, the squirrels running around in my backyard. I like that. I like that. And you know, it's really interesting that Patrick said that, because then when I came to the Renewal Center this morning, there were some squirrels running around in the trees on the top of the Renewal Center. And I just stopped and was just gazing into the trees and looking at that and just taking it in, just the small things, just to be able to engage in those things. Renita is saying, I overlooked the sunrise. Someone mentioned it to me when I got to work. And I realized just how much of a rush I was in this morning leaving the house. Thank you, Nita, for sharing that. You know, someone had to mention to Renita the fact of the simple thing that happens every single day. We encounter a sunrise, we encounter a sunset, we encounter all of these things. We see these things, but we go on with our day. And so why is this so important? Why are we talking about appreciating? And it's not just appreciation, it's the simple things that we overlook. You know, this morning when I got up and I was moving about in my office upstairs, I was taking a look at all of the different books that I had, because I have a little library in there. And as I was looking at all the different books, and I'm like, you know, it's really nice to be able to pick out anything that I'd like to read, or to add something to my library, or just looking at all the other things, the details. So I'm going to show you something that I just pulled out of my office, and I brought it with me today. Well, I got this as a gift. It says, enjoy the little things. You know, it's just a little simple piece of novelty item, but it was given to me out of love, and it meant so much to me. It's very colorful and I like looking at it. And so, these basic things, it's not about the things, but it's about the small things. As I gaze at that, I'm reminded of the time that someone gave that to me, and that really made my day. And it was given out of appreciation for me, actually. So there are little things that we overlook sometimes that mean so much to us. But if we don't take the time to stop and pause, we'll gloss over those things and we'll miss them. I see someone bringing in a remark, and that's Nichelle. She's saying, how appropriate for today's lesson. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. It just seems like there's a plethora of things that we could be thankful for. It's not the gratitude, but it's the simple things. On my desk, this was also given to me as a gift. This is a really nice candle and it smells great. And sometimes I'll just open the top and just allow it to just effervescence in the room. The aroma and the fragrance is so nice. But you know what? I can overlook these things. I can rush about and not take any notice at all of these things. So as I put that verse up earlier, I was putting that up because that scripture really makes a big difference. Whatever the things that are true or lovely, sometimes there are things that are of good report. We forget to kind of notice those and forget to take on these things and think on them. So as we're taking this break during Tea Time Tuesday today, we're going to do this journey together and figure out some ways on how we can incorporate more simplistic appreciation in our lives. Hope is saying to us, for me, it's the little things that matter. Absolutely. And I like when she said that because I believe that too. It's the little things. It's the hello. It's the flowers that we pass by in the store, looking at all the different colors. Right not too far from me, there's a botanical garden. And sometimes I forget that botanical garden doesn't take much for me to drive over there and just walk around and just enjoy the nature. We're not too far from a lake. We're not far from anything. Actually, there's so many different places that I could go and just take in those things, the small things, the things that are free that we can do. So you can start incorporating these things into your day to bring pause, to bring reflection, and to bring joy into your life. So let's go to this. I want to share this with you. Here it is. I like this. How can we start appreciating some things in our lives simplistically? Oh, yes, Nichelle, I like that. Let me put that out on the screen. Smiles and hugs means a lot to me. And we're going to get to that in a minute about using our five senses, because sometimes we'll forget to use our five senses to our advantage. And it makes a big difference when you can see somebody smiling, or you can give a smile, or whatever have you. I think that makes a big difference. And those are the things sometimes that we overlook. Thank you for sharing, Nichelle. Here are some ways to incorporate simplistic appreciation every day. First and foremost, we can reminisce and recapture. And so I know sometimes people may say, well, okay, 2, 3, maybe 5 years ago, I'm not really not focusing on that. But I'm sure there's some great things that you've done. There's some travels that we have encountered. There's some wonderful places that we've gone to that we can think about and ponder on. We can reminisce and recapture those things. Sometimes writing in our journals is a great way to think about how the wonderful things that we have engaged in. And I think it's important for us to do that. Nicole was saying, one of my favorite quotes is, the smallest moments make the greatest memories. I like that because that even equates to what I'm sharing now. Sometimes we have to stop, pause, and reminisce on the great things. We don't want to overlook or gloss over the great things that we've encountered. By recapturing those things, we may want to take on some of those things again. Some of us have engaged in some things in the past and we've put it on the shelf, and maybe we want to start appreciating those things again. So this is a good thing to do, to start reminiscing and recapturing some of the things that we did before that brings us a lot of joy. Okay, thank you for sharing that, Nicole. I want to share another aspect of simplistic appreciation. Not only the past do we reminisce on those things, but what about the present? We can enjoy what we're doing now and savor what we're doing now, right in the moment. Right in the moment. Think about what's around you, think about who's around you, think about what you can do right now in this moment to savor the moment. Getting some fresh air, moving away from your desk, maybe some really nice fragrance. We talk about a lot of these things before, but we don't want to miss the simple things. Maybe there's some things that you would like to do right there in your office or right there in your house or your home. Maybe getting outside, taking a walk, gardening, whatever, the simple things that doesn't require a whole lot. These are the things that we can incorporate every day. How about savoring that meal? I like talking about that. Sometimes we're we're gobbling it down and we're not taking the time to enjoy that. Just taking the moment to savor and enjoy the conversation that you're having with someone. That is huge. How many times have we just, kind of abandoned the conversation that is a great conversation that we've been in with someone or with family member? And, we just like, wow, I really enjoyed that. But we kind of rush through it. And it makes a big difference in our life to have simplistic appreciation. We don't necessarily have to do great and grander things. But if we take count of this every day, it can bring a lot of meaning to our lives. As we get up and go about our workday, we do want to pause and appreciate some of the simple things. Living in faith every day, they want to share this. I drink tea each evening. It's my way to savor a moment daily. We got something in common. What is that one thing? What is that one thing that you can do right now in the present to enjoy and to savor your life? Your life has meaning. We all have something that we can enjoy every day. And then within a 24 hours time frame, what can we do to incorporate that? Maybe it's visiting someone or going to the park or doing your exercise or doing a stretch or whatever it is. What is that thing? Maybe it's watching a movie that you enjoy or watching a show or going to some place. It could be anything. What is that thing that you can enjoy right now in the moment to savor? Because we want to have simplistic appreciation. Not only the past and the present, but what about the future? Well, you can plan. That's what our journal is about, our journaling time. You can plan where you want to go. You can anticipate the great things that you want to do. Doesn't have to be big, but taking the moment to do some things that you appreciate next week, next month, maybe in a few weeks. What is it that you want to do? Journaling will help you do that. Journaling will cause you to reflect on things that you will want to enjoy. Maybe it's not right now, but maybe you can anticipate some things you want to do to bring wellness and well-being into your life. Thank you, Hope, for sharing this. She's saying engaging in meaningful conversation. Yes, meaningful conversation, taking the time to enjoy and giving your feedback. And that makes a big difference when you're in the presence of someone and you're kind of feeding off one another. So I really appreciate you sharing that, Hope, because engaging in meaningful conversation means that we're not islands alone, that we do have some conversation that we can engage in that will sharpen us. And Nichelle, I encourage myself each day, and I'm intentional to encourage others daily. It's a way I help others to enjoy their day. There's another meaningful place of appreciation. She's showing that not only is she encouraging herself, but others. That's small, but it's a grand place of simplistic appreciation for that moment. Thank you, Nichelle. That's huge. And so, Charlissa, Harriet, I've been passing out love gifts to other cancer survivors while at treatment today. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. That is wonderful. That is a wow moment in a simplistic appreciation, something that you're doing right now, just being able to give, being able to share quote unquote love gifts to others to bring meaning to their lives. Sometimes we overlook that opportunity. And so I'm thankful that you all are sharing these today because now we're sharing with our Tea Time Tuesday community ways to incorporate different things on bringing simplistic appreciation in our lives. Sometimes we're thinking that a gratitude or appreciation or those type of things are redundant when we talk about it. But if you think about it, I'm going to pause here. If you think about it, when was the last time you really appreciated something? When was the last time you really engaged in appreciating something? And see, that's the meaning of really sharing appreciation just for the small things, because we get up and have our routine every day that we're like, wow, I didn't even, like Patrick shared, I didn't even recognize the squirrels were out there all this time, or the birds were chirping. And so those are the things that cause us to reset ourselves when we actually pause. Sometimes we talk about grounding ourselves, or we talk about taking the moment to locate ourselves. Do you ever notice in the moment when we're locating ourselves, the sounds that are around us, or taking a look at your surrounding while we're doing it? It makes a big difference. I really appreciate these comments that are coming in. Nichelle, she's saying, I absolutely love this. And she's sharing what Charlissa, what she was sharing about giving love gifts to cancer survivors. I think this is amazing. Just the fact that you're sharing that, Charlissa, to us, that's savoring the moment right now for us. And we're joining in with that aspect of appreciation with you. And so Charlissa, she's saying, thank you, Nichelle. It really helps me along the journey. Thank you so much for sharing this. Today, as we talked about savoring the moment and finding ways in the past, in the future, and right now, I would like you to take your journals out really quick with me and go on a journey of appreciation. Go on a journey with me and take a minute today during our Tea Time Tuesday to write in your journal about these things. So I'm going to put this writing prompt up. And if you want to come back to it later in the day, the recording will be on our Facebook page and on our YouTube channel. Take time to journal this today. I'm going to put this on the screen. And we're talking about taking time to smell the roses and not letting things go by. So I'm going to put this up here, and I want you to take a look at this. Simplistic appreciation. Let's do this every day. How can we put this into our lives, put this into practice? Okay, so we're going to do a tea time journal exercise. How will I use my 5 senses to implement appreciation? By focusing on the past, the present, and the future. Before I move on with this, I'm going to put these remarks up because we got some remarks coming in. Patrick is saying, I appreciate the Tea Time community. I remember when it started, and now to see the engagement and the resilience we have together. Take care of each other. Yes, thank you. That's our executive director. And that's what it's all about. That's what Tea Time community is about. It's about coming here on Tuesdays and taking our time to share together and to pause and to grow. Thank you for sharing that, Patrick. Living in faith every day. When we pause and take a deep breath, I'm reminded I still have breath in my lungs. We can't have appreciation if we're not breathing, right? Just taking that minute, that moment, that minute to really savor that aspect. Thank you. Breathe. That's right. To just take a moment to take it in. So while we are doing that, thank you for your remarks today. I'm going to put that up there one more time. You can look at this. How will I use my 5 senses? So think about touch, think about hearing, think about tasting, smelling. What are these things, these 5 senses? Sight, touch, smell, taste, hear. How can we incorporate these into our lives as far as simplistic appreciation? Sight could be nature. What colors do you like? What about art? Touch could be leaves, raking the leaves, or working with pottery, or that comforting blanket that you like so much. How about smell? How can you appreciate the aroma of what you're cooking or some of the fragrances that you use? Taste. What about the food that you create, or what about that special smoothie that you prepare in the morning for your day? What about that? And hearing, are there different types of musical instruments, or what about music or podcasts that are positive, or listening to commentary that's positive? What can you do with your 5 senses that you can appreciate some of the things you did in the past, what you're doing right now, and what you plan to do in the future. So we're going to take a break here, and I'm going to put something up on the screen while you do your journal exercise, while we engage in that. We'll come back and do a recap, and then we'll close out our Tea Time Tuesday. So while you're doing that with your journal, I'm going to remove this, and I'm going to put something on the screen here while you are actually, oh, Hope, she came in and said something. Close your eyes and listen for sounds. Let's do that for a minute, or do that when you have a moment at home. Just taking a minute or wherever you are. It's be amazing to appreciate the sense of sound and what that means to you. Thank you for sharing that, Hope. That makes such a big difference. Okay, so let's go ahead and do our tea time journal for the next 2-3 minutes here. I'm going to play something on the screen and just take a minute and let's journal. And let's take time to stop and smell the roses. So we're going to pause and do that for the next 3 minutes. Let's keep going, and I'm going to continue playing our slide. As you are continuing in your journey of writing in your journals today about simplistic appreciation, I'm going to share some of the remarks. I've been putting some of them up there because we've been sharing throughout our Tea Time Tuesday community about ways that we can incorporate appreciation. And, Hope is coming in and she's saying, before I take my first bite of my favorite foods, I love closing my eyes to concentrate on their flavor. And, I like how she says that because what about all of the different spices that we use in different type of cuisines? Sometimes we overlook even the basic spices that make such a great difference in how our food tastes. And so I thank her for putting that remark there for us to remind ourselves to even savor in the present moment the food that we're eating, because that even makes a big difference. And you can do that at work, even as you're at lunch. as you're taking your break and pausing during Tea Time Tuesday to enjoy your lunch, enjoy your meal, and all the spices or the flavors that you are engaging in every day. And Patrick is coming with something. He is saying, how do I take care of my skin naturally? What water do I drink? What soap do I use? And I'm going to leave that up there for a minute because these are practical things that Patrick he's mentioning. Sometimes and I'm guilty of this. I'll get up, I'll do what I need to do. I'll forget to put on that really nice lotion. I'll forget to drink water like I'm supposed to. I mean, sometimes it's just the simple things that we can do to bring well-being into our lives and to become more appreciative by just taking the moment to savor that. This may not be a popular topic, but it's so necessary because there's so many things that we bypass every day, or we have at our fingertips every day that we forget to appreciate. How many of you have a lot of different? I know I get different lotions and little hand lotions. They smell so nice, and we'll forget all about what we already have. We'll go get more stuff. But sometimes it's just enjoying the basic things that you already have, and the simple things in life that make a big difference. Thank you for sharing that, Patrick, because our well-being is so very important. And when we ask these questions as we journal, we can come back to that later. Like I said, this will be on our broadcast, and you can always tune back in and put that into your journal writing about how you want to incorporate that into your daily living. And so I'm really excited about that, about taking the time to smell the roses. I'm going to put this back on the screen just one more time. One more time. Pause. Smell the roses. Have simplistic appreciation for the things that are around you. And you can incorporate this each and every day of our living, and just actually take the moment to, I would say, put it on your calendar to do something special, or put it on your calendar to say, I'm going to appreciate the things that I see around me every day. Those are the things that will bring us joy. Hope is bringing in a comment, and then I'm going to bring Hope back in for the day. When looking at something, how often to take the time to really notice the many colors that, oh my gosh, that makes it up. There it is. I guess, sometimes we forget about that because when fall rolls around, we see the orange and the red and the blue, all the beautiful fall colors. But what about during the winter? What do we see? Or as spring is coming in, there's so many things. Or when we walk into our closet and see the many textures and colors, or in our home, there's so many things that we can draw upon that with our five senses, that we can use to have meaningful and simplistic appreciation every day. Thank you for sharing that, Hope. Well, I'm going to go ahead and bring Hope back into the stream with us so that we can close out Tea Time Tuesday today.
Right.
And, while we are in that mode, Hope, is there something you want to close out our tea time with today about simplistic appreciation?
Um, well, I just want to say while you were talking about it, and this is just really, really good, really good. And it brings awareness to being more sensitive and appreciative of the things that's around us that we sometimes, take for granted. So I do want to say that when like I'm certain places, you go to a lot of different places. I'm very intentional about taking looks at landscapes and gardening and flowers.
Mm-hmm.
You know how we walk in and out of buildings, go to doctor's appointments, go here and there, and they have these beautiful landscapes. Sometimes just we don't take that time to look, and sometimes I like to just pause, stop, and take a look at the many different colors, the beauty of the flowers, even the smell, and even how the flowers affects the actual atmosphere that I'm in, the actual place that I'm in. So I just want to say that I'm glad that you talked about this because this brings us to attention of just the little things that sometimes we walk past each and every day. Like you said earlier, I think it was about the squirrels, walking past the squirrels, not realizing that they're playing. But you know what? We can chime in to pay attention to those things when we
Mm-hmm.
pause.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when we're moving so fast, you can't really appreciate it. But in the stillness, And in the pausing, it brings your attention to see those
Mm-hmm.
squirrels. It brings you attention to see those flowers. It brings you to attention to stop, and you may be walking past someone and greet them with a smile just by saying hello. And so that's just, what I got from it today, to be more intentional, to pay attention to what's around me that I may pass each and every day and really don't pay attention to. But when you take that time to slow down and pause, as we do in our tea time, gives us
Yes.
the opportunity to appreciate those things, such as flowers, such as the color, such as tasting food. And I love to cook, and I love to taste food. So it's just, being able to taste the herbs and the spices and all those things. And even when we're drinking our teas, just taking that
That's
time
right.
to sip that tea and really taste the different types of teas that have been made available. So I just want to say thank you for such a wonderful tea time. This has made me intentional, even about as I move forward in today, just going forth, I'll be more intentional about what I'm observing, and
Mm-hmm.
how it makes me feel,
Yes.
being thankful. And I'll say just being grateful in the moment.
Grateful in the moment.
Grateful in the moment, in that time, grateful in the moment. So that's what I got from it today.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And I hope that you guys would take a moment, those that are tuning in. And I want to say hello, Dorothy. Thank you for tuning in with us today. If you could just put a brief takeaway into the chat today of how you will apply, because Hope has really brought some light to that. And as she was sharing with that, I know we're going to close out shortly. I just want to say, as I was talking about this, about the past, I thought about an art history class that I had taken in college, and it reminded me of the architecture, just as you were saying, going in and out of buildings and seeing landscaping. And it reminded me of the architecture that I had learned about from different eras. Sometimes we forget all about those things, and we could appreciate just simple things that we have learned. And so I really, really appreciate you sharing that, because that draws us into the fact that it's the basic things that we overlook every day that we could appreciate. And so thank you for sharing that. And so we want to say thank to everyone for joining us in Tea Time Tuesday. And so Hope is going to take us into our announcements and, invite you on ways that you can support the Renewal Center.
All right.
I'm going to share my screen. Give me a quick second here so I can get this together. Here we go. All right.
All right. So here it is. It is Tuesday. Not only is it tea time, but it is Giving Tuesday. Our executive director said something earlier about just appreciating the community that we've built up through doing tea time and having tea time. And so we would love for you to be able to engage in being able to give as we continue to grow and expand with tea time, expecting so much more. We invite you to give to the Renewal Center. We invite you to give to our giving initiative, which today, tomorrow is the last day for giving, but it doesn't stop you from being able to give. So we invite you to be able to give to the Renewal Center. We have a lot of things of programming that's going on beyond our Tea Time Tuesdays. We have many other things that we're embarking upon on leadership and some things that we're going to roll out to be able to help the community, the Concord, Charlotte, North Carolina area and beyond. Here on the screen, you can see the information that you will be able to give. We have several ways that you can give to the Renewal Center. We invite you to choose one and be able to give and sow into the Renewal Center. If tea time has been great for you, you can go ahead and sow with one of the opportunities we have here on the screen. Please make sure that you have the app downloaded as well, and so that you'll be able to stay connected to us and our announcements. Even through our app, you're able to give as well. Speaking of giving and connecting, we have officially rolled out our grief recovery, and we have individual grief sessions. And we have our GPS, which will be starting soon, which is our grief, pain, and stress group sessions that we will be having soon. We invite you, if you know of anyone or yourself who's interested in individual grief sessions or want more information about our GPS, which is grief, pain, stress group sessions, which will be having those times rolling out this spring, please contact the Renewal Center. You can go to our website, and we have an intake process that you can connect with us. And again, you can give to the Renewal Center as a nonprofit organization as we continue to build up our programming, such as grief recovery, such as our leadership, and many other things that we're getting ready to move forward in. We thank you in advance for your giving. Thank you in advance for your contributions, and thank you in advance for connecting with the vision of the Renewal Center as we continue to expand even further beyond, even in the Concord, Charlotte, North Carolina area and beyond. So we thank you all in advance for being able to give and connect with us. And so, have a few other announcements that we would like to mention. All right, so our Wednesday is our Reforming Culture. That's every first, second, and third Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. And we have as our instructor is Apostle Patrick J. Brown. If you have not signed up for this, please sign up for this. We've been having a wonderful, strong teaching and just receiving things that we need to be in our communities and in our homes. We invite you to join us. You can link up with us on our social media pages as well. All right, so we are ready. We have our fourth Carolina gathering. All right, this is April 27th to the 29th. Please save the dates in sync with Christ. Okay, this is going to be absolutely phenomenal. We have some phenomenal teachers and those who will come forth and facilitate on these days. We invite you to go ahead and give and register for this wonderful gathering that we're having 2020 to 2029, a decade of declaration and demonstration. And so we invite you to connect with us and register, invite a friend. We are going to be on site for this, okay? We're going to be together in community and fellowship with one another. We invite you to come. We have some great teaching, some great things that are going to be released that is going to edify you. Again, registration is open. So we invite you to register with us for this year's fourth annual Carolina Prophetic Gathering in sync with Christ. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal, and we invite you to join us and register. Registration is located on our social media pages that will lead you to the Eventbrite where you can register. And we thank you all for registering and getting prepared. Make sure to save those dates. You don't want to miss this phenomenal gathering that will edify and add to your life.
Yes, yes. I'm excited. I can't wait. It's a few months away.
Yes.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing those announcements. And so before we leave off today, we do have a few takeaways. Just want to thank you so much for sharing, Charlisa Harriet. Cherish the moments as I create life's memory. So thank you for that takeaway. We appreciate you sharing that with us. And we do hope that everyone has had an engaging time today on Tea Time Tuesday. We ask and invite you to come back and join us again for our next time when we broadcast on Tea Time Tuesday. Invite a friend. Let them know that we are on the air and that we're on YouTube, and you can always go back and listen to our broadcast. And so we're going to go ahead and close out for now. And we want to say that we always say here at the Renewal Center, I am Renewal, and take care of each other.
Right.
Yes. Have a great afternoon, and we'll see you on our next time of Tea Time Tuesday.
Have a great
Good
afternoon.
afternoon.